What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to JR Hikes. It is a overcast day. I was kind of hoping for some rain, and we did try and set up the other day. We got some B-roll, but the issue that we ran into was Chad, who was flying my drone for me, he had to be at work, and there was also a threat of a storm. We didn't want to get caught out in the storm at the park. So I'm behind my house. You have to forgive some of the noise. I got a road that's right next to my house, and I've got this guy behind me blowing out a carburetor. So bear with me on that. But we are going to do a real quick overview and review my pros and cons of the Gossamer Gear, the 2. I've had this thing for about a year or so now. I've had it out on several trips, and I'm really happy with it. There are a couple things that I do not like about it, but there are too many things that I like about it to stop using it. So we're going to go ahead and open this thing up, and we'll give it a real quick look over, show you guys what I like and don't like. And then afterwards, if you want to stick around, I'll show you what I call the perfect pitch of a tent like this. So stick around. Okay, taking a look at the Gossamer Gear, the 2. This is with the vestibules completely closed. One of the things that I like about this tent is the size of the vestibules. When they're closed, there is plenty of room in there for your pack and other things. It does have this bright yellow guy line. These clips here are nice because you can release both sides of the vestibule to completely open up this side of the tent. So basically it's got this Velcro that runs up the side, and we're going to unzip that. And then if you notice how one side stays attached to this guy line, once you do that, it loosens up the tent a little bit. Just grab that guy line and cinch it back down, and then it tightens that one side of the vestibule up. This does also roll up out of the way. I don't know if I could do this with one hand or not. Okay, now you can see down here at the bottom, there is a grommet for your trekking pole tip. You seat that inside of that. I've also put grommets on my ground cloth to really give that stability so it doesn't slide out. And it's got this little strap right here with the barrel lock on it to keep that screen up against your trekking pole. And then there is a seat up there for the top of your trekking pole. One thing I do not like about this tent so far that I've noticed in the year that I've used it, unlike the Duplex by Z-Packs, it would have a full door that opens up. This whole entire side would open up, whereas with the 2 here, it's just this small L-shaped door. I guess it's just not as much of an entry as one would hope. If you've got a couple things in your hand and you're trying to enter into the tent, it's just a little tight of a squeeze to get in there, but otherwise it's really nothing to complain about for the most part. It does have a really high tub. I would say it's probably at least a good, probably 2.5 to 3 inches all the way around the base of the tub, which is nice to keep that water that does splash up off of the ground. It's going to keep that out of the tub. And then another thing that you'll notice, if you look down at the bottom of the tub, you'll see a gap that screen goes above the tub. And then you have this awning on the side of it. That awning pretty much goes down the entire side of the tent. So that enables the water to run off of the tent onto the ground and not back into the tub, which I've found in a couple of rainy nights that worked out really well to keep the rain out. You want to keep your trekking pole at 125 centimeters. To give it a good loft in your ceiling. It does have a ton of room inside of the ceiling. Now there are guy outs that you can use, these loops here, that you can tie off to bring that top out to give you more headroom. I try to keep it pitched as taut as possible. But again, there's that nice awning down the head and foot of the tent. And then this is the other side. Again, there are 2 vestibules, and those vestibules are enormous. Let's get this one opened. and you can see the amount of room that's in that vestibule. And if you're on a hot night, or if it's warm and you're wanting to avoid condensation, kick open one of those vestibules and let that air through, and it's really nice. So it's a great tent. It is extremely lightweight. It is made out of sil nylon. I'll put all the specs up on the screen here so you can see those as far as thicknesses go. But I've had really good luck with it. I've been caught in 2 storms with it. Well, one was a rain, the second one was a little bit of a storm. And I did not get wet. I have run into a little bit of a condensation issue, but other than that, I've had no problems with it. Inside the tent, it is pretty roomy, and you can see how much air movement there is available with that mesh all the way around the bottom. There's a pocket here on both sides that's big enough. I've put my cell phone, my battery charger, my headlamp, gloves, all of that fits in those pockets. There is a loop up here that you can run a clothesline across the top of it that is supplied with the tent. I just do not have it in there, but it does help. It also has it also comes with a little clip so you can hang like a dome light, I believe. It's actually really roomy in here. The floor itself, it kind of feels really thin because it is a sil nylon. It's not a DCF or a Cuban fiber. But I've been out on all kinds of grounds where it'd be like a sandy ground along the riverbank in South Carolina, more of a rocky terrain when I was in Red River Gorge. And I've not had any problems as far as the bottom goes, as long as you put a ground sheet down. They do recommend that you use a ground cloth with it. So what I did was use the 1443R. It's a kite making material. Everything will be linked in the description below if you want to take a look at what I have in this setup. But the ground cloth, again, 1443R, kite making material by Tyvek. I got a sheet that was bigger than the floor. I laid it out, set the tent up over the top of it, cut it to fit, and I've had really good luck with it. I did a like tape on grommets where I can put my trekking poles and the stakeouts in the corner. That has worked pretty well so far, so I'm pretty happy with it. Now, as you can see over here, there is the guy outs right there, and you can see that they've got a tape around it. So as far as leaking comes in, that is sealed. And then also, if you look down here on the ground, everything is seal taped. If you're looking at a lesser expensive tent, one of the things that you're going to run into is when you get it, seams are not taped. You're going to have to do that after you get it. I believe the Lanshan may do that. There is another one, I can't quite remember the name of it, but there are a couple in which you're going to have to seal tape all of your seams. Gossamer Gear does that for you so that it's already done. That's pretty much the tent. I don't have any super huge issues with it. One of the things that I'm not a fan of is the doors. I've already said that I don't like that it's a half a door, but if you try and unzip the door and then come around this corner, it's almost you almost need 2 hands in order to get that door open. Closing, it's not too bad, but if you're trying to open the door, it does kind of get caught in that corner. But other than that, the zippers are incredibly smooth. Like I did say, there is a little bit of condensation that you're going to get in a tent like this. It is a single wall tent. If you're looking at any other tent, like a double wall tent where you have a rain fly over the top, there's actually a gap in between the tent body itself and that rain fly, so that you get that breathability that keeps that condensation on the outside layer. This is a single wall tent. There is no screen. There is no mesh all the way across the top. So you're going to sometimes get condensation on the inside. Ventilation is key. If ever you're in a situation where it's you're warm on the inside and it's cold on the outside, make sure you just get yourself in a position where you can let that air move through it. Open up one of the vestibule doors on both sides. Let that air move through it. If it's raining, obviously you're going to keep that closed. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop out of here. I'm starting to sweat. It's about 90 degrees outside. It's a little overcast. I was hoping for some rain so I could sit out here and see exactly how this thing handled the rain on film. But I've been out here for about an hour and I've not seen any rain yet. So, okay, there you have it. That is the Gossamer Gear, the 2. That is about the best review I can give. Again, there's only a couple things that I do not like about the tent. Just that door and the way the zippers kind of get stuck on those mesh doors. But other than that, get yourself a ground cloth, that Tyvek, and cut it to size. Make sure that it doesn't stick out farther than the tub itself. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Thank you for making it all the way through. And if you found that this is some content that was helpful for you, please give me a like. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so. I would greatly appreciate it. Hit that bell notification so that you are notified whenever there are new videos that come out. And if you want to see my perfect pitch of this tent, stick around right after this.